Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business insurance, personal home and auto, employee benefits, retirement and wealth management. Heffernan, because you're different.
Hi, it's Julie. I'm here with Phaedra Starr from Hartford Insurance. Hi, Phaedra. How are you?
Good. How are you, Julie?
Absolutely. Everybody knows who the Hartford Insurance Company is, a very large, successful insurance carrier.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what you do in the space to serve technology firms.
Well, sure, Julie. Well, Hartford has been a part of the technology sector for a long time. We've been in the business with technology companies for over 20 years, and we have products for all sizes and all stages of companies, from the small emerging startup all the way up to the publicly held big, huge corporation in the technology space. Actually, we're the leader in technology, writing technology businesses for emerging and small startup technology companies. So we write about over 82,000 of them.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, at Upright Marketing, we help emerging companies and also traditional established companies to develop customers. Now, a lot of companies are focused on developing products, but we help them to understand or acquire domain expertise about the customers they're trying to serve.
Shamisa is a cloud-based computer repair software. As a computer repair store owner, we, over the past couple of years, have developed a checklist of what we do to repair virus-ridden computers. And after interviewing thousands of our customers on what they would like to see in a repair software, we turned our 55-point list into a software, and now we're ready to take it to market.
Awesome. And so what do the prospects for business look like in 2012?
It's actually huge. I mean, it's the economy's starting to come back around. People are spending a little bit of money, and in our space, in computer repair, people don't. It's kind of like heating and air conditioning. People aren't going to do without their computers.
Okay, I have mystaff.com, which is launching next year, which is actually a staffing website where if you have a developer, for example, in the Bay Area, and the developer salary might be $150,000 a year, it's a great idea to supplement their skills by having a tester and some extra hands-on development from somebody in India or the Philippines to supplement the skills of the high-level developer. So that's my staff. Basically, what we're doing is a platform for recruiting in any country in the world, and being able to hire people instantly from any country and pay for them over the phone.
And you have another emerging firm as well.
The other one is Time Doctor, which is actually a time tracking tool which is used as part of my staff, and you can also use it in your own company to track your team members, to know exactly how many hours are worked, to know what websites they visited, to know and track the time worked for each person in your team, especially if they're working from home. You don't really know if they came into work, what's going on, if you have team members that are working remotely. So that's what it's designed for.
Sure, we're a donation management company. We've actually built a payment platform on the cloud specifically for the tax-exempt nonprofit market.
Awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a very exciting marketplace.
It is, and it's one that solves a critical problem.
And so tell me a little bit about what the future prospects for 2012 look like and some of the business challenges that you've had over the past year.
Well, I think in our case, the future is bright, and that's primarily because we're in a sector that is now under heavy scrutiny with regulations, particularly when you look at money. And so I would say that 2012 and beyond is very positive for us. And the challenges we've had is primarily increased force regulation, and this comes on a number of different platforms, anywhere from the IRS, Department of Homeland Security, and along with the payment industry itself.
So the company is called Scribe. We are actually funded by Adobe and LMKR. We're a small team. We're targeted at enterprise social collaboration. And we just launched our solution about 4 to 5 months ago. And we have seen incredible traction. So we've seen more than 3,000 businesses sign up since we launched. We target enterprise social collaboration. And the cool thing there is that we're not just about chit-chat. We're basically about communication and collaboration in the context of your work. So we let you discuss images, PDF, links in a way that you have never seen before.
My company is called Mattermind. We are a community and a marketplace for science and technology content. We have students who are in high school who use the content for AP exams in biology and chemistry, but we actually focus more on late high school through college and beyond college. So we have content creators who are the best at teaching, who love to teach whatever science topic or engineering science topic, and we let them put their version of it up on the web, and they can sell it for whatever amount they want to diagnose it for free. They can price it, and it just allows students all over to have access to a really great teacher for a very particular topic in science or technology that they're interested in, so that they have that lively interpretation, can supplement maybe having a really bad teacher, or maybe they overworked this week, right? So that's what we do.
So the Founders Institution's gotten so big that Odeo can't both manage the growth and run the sessions for the Silicon Valley branch, so I'll be running the sessions starting in December.
And tell me a little bit about what you do for emerging tech firms to help them get a foundation so they can grow their company.
So we take them through an 8-step process where they meet 8 times over 4 months. There's a lot of other informal contact. We bring in 3 great mentors to each session, and it's everything from employment to how to get your idea together, how to pitch your idea, how to attract technical co-founders. And at the end of that process, they should be ready to go out with an idea that's framed in a way that helps other people get involved and help them grow their company.
And so obviously there's a huge benefit to that. Can you give me some sort of idea of the magnitude of applications that you may have over the course of the year?
So I don't know about the Institute as a whole, but I know like the Silicon Valley branch, there's 300 applicants and approximately 50 will enter the program, and statistically about 30 will make it all the way through the coursework and come out on the other side.
And tell me a little bit about some of the emerging trends that you see from the emerging tech firms. What are some of the risk management trends that you see?
Well, I would say one of the biggest ones that we're seeing right now is really an increased awareness of cybersecurity. I mean, if you look around, everybody's transacting business and personal finance and everything on their laptops, over their smartphones. So with the increased dependency of the world really on technology, and then the fact that technology is ever changing, I mean, right now the biggest trend we're seeing is the cloud. Business owners are really much more aware and want to protect both their own intellectual property, but really, especially their customers' private data. So I would say cybersecurity, security of data is probably the biggest hot topic right now.
Where you're at in the business cycle is going to really determine what an emerging company should be considering, not only for insurance products, but risk management consulting services as well. I think if you're, pre-funding, there's certain things with regards to management liability that you might want to get in place, directors and officers coverage. Maybe once you get operations up and running, you might want to start considering things like network risk, E&O, general liability, workers' comp, those sorts of things. And if you're a life science company in particular, you might want to think about things like clinical trial coverage. And so there's a lot of stuff, even especially if you're planning on going abroad, you might want to start considering international risk. A lot of our emerging companies are starting to look at the opportunities in Asia, a lot of opportunity in China, and there's risk associated with that. And so I think it really depends on what your business plan looks like, where you're at in your business cycle, as to what's going to be the most important thing for you.
The main challenges that we've run into, especially risk-wise, is because we come from Georgia and there's not a big tech presence there, we've had to outsource a lot of our programming. And so the risk liability-wise comes into play there.
So from third-party outsourcers?
From third-party outsourcers. And then, you don't know who is watching what, especially if you're not a technical person.
Right.
So you actually have to go have an on-board technical person go back and look at what somebody else has done just to make sure that there's no liability risks there.
So one of the challenges is what they call minimum viable product. So I'm not sure if you heard that concept before, but it's basically trying to do a product which is good enough that people want it, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. And generally when you're doing a startup, that's what you should do. That's not what I really did. I actually did a product which is a little bit too big, too bloated, too many features. I aimed for the stars, and it's taken, for the software development, too long to achieve that. And we have a good product now where we're actually using it, but we're not. It's taken too long because we tried to do too much.
But in our case, we're dealing with issues of consumer identity, computer fraud, credit card fraud. These are all issues that are now tied to national security.
Right,
10
under
years ago,
regulatory.
that wasn't an issue.
Right.
So we're actually in one of those very sweet spots. And like I said, we also now bring a tool to the nonprofits where they no longer have to worry about issues of data breaches, exposing your personal information, your financial information, and the penalties and the fines for that can absolutely shut down an organization.
And so some of the challenges in 2012 have been attracting talent.
Yeah, attracting talent and making sure that, because we also have a lot of sensitive data for customers, right? So, and you have all that classical fight against SaaS and security and scalability. So catering, we thought that was going to be a challenge, but that actually hasn't turned out to be that much of a challenge. Everybody is understanding the value of cloud computing, of cloud scalability. So originally we thought that was going to be where we are focusing, but right now it seems that our biggest challenge is to scale proportionally to the traction that we're seeing.
We've had to do a lot of these kind of events where we go in and we get feedback. The economy has been really rough, so a lot of angels, a lot of the venture capitalists are kind of, in some degree, in some areas, are pulling money out or not investing as much. And it's very difficult for what we're doing because it's kind of outside of software. So really getting people to understand what we're doing has been kind of a challenge, but then at the same time in this economy, jobs are low, and getting out there and pitching it to the people who know and get behind what you're doing, that's hard.
So attracting capital has been certainly a challenge?
Pretty much, yeah, exactly, because it's, it's, in a way, what we're doing is really hard for some people to grasp, but there's people who get it and they get on board with it,
right.
And then there's some people that are just like, I'm really looking for a social media, or I'm looking for, there's a lot of people that are, they're really, these events are really software oriented, and so we're kind of coming out with something a little bit different. So communicating what we're doing can be pretty challenging sometimes.
Well, it's everything from how do I find the rest of the team. I'm a technical co-founder, but I don't know marketing very well, or don't know design very well too. I'm a designer, but I don't know how to program. So that's a huge hurdle. How do I get enough people involved that I can round out the team? Another is how do I attract outside resources? We've reached the prototype, now we need to market and expand. How do I get those people involved? All the way down to how do I brand this thing? How do I hire people? So a lot of these people, it's their first time, and so it's just going through the full process. Some of them are more seasoned, and it's more about how do I build a strong network in the Valley.